Good evening and welcome to the first in a series of interviews with international guests. Each guest will share his or her own personal and unique perspective on the history, present, and future of single session therapy. These interviews are part of a special year. They belong to a series of events taking place throughout 2026 to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Italian Center for Single Session Therapy. I am Simona Toriello, and today I will interview Dr. Helen van Empel. She is a psychologist and director of YET, which provides single session services within occupational healthcare. She co-founded the mental health organization Kick Your Habits before going to establish One Session, the initiative through which she brought single session therapy to the Netherlands. She also trains postgraduate practitioners in single session therapy, and in 2025, her book, the very first Dutch language book of single session therapy, was published. So, good evening to you, Dr. Van Hempel, and thank you so much for being here today with us for this celebration. The first question I want to ask you is, how did you first come across single session therapy?
Well, the concept of a standalone session came to me after a chance encounter on the beach, and it was just a chat, not even half an hour. And it gave me the kind of unexpected insight and a turning point that can also happen in the single session. And I immediately thought it was a great plan. And honestly, I was also immediately surprised that nobody seems to do this yet. But when I came home after a quick search online, I discovered that I was far from the first one to think of it, and that there was a wealth of research and practice all over the world already existing.
Thank you so much. And I would also ask you, how did you meet the Italian Center for Single Session Therapy for the first time?
Well, once I discovered that SST had been around for decades and that there were professionals all over the world researching it, practicing it, writing about it, I started to reach out to some of the professionals whose work I read. And I was immediately struck by how open and generous and welcoming the international SST network was. And it was Michael Hoyt, in fact, who emailed me and said that there was a center in Italy doing already outstanding work on SST. And he said, you should really contact Flavio. So I did. And we started the conversation. And that's how I ended up speaking at the symposium in Rome.
Yeah,
In
mm, in 2023, it was very interesting. I was there, and
Okay.
it was very, very interesting for me listen to you and to your work. So, tell us about your work today and how do you use a single session therapy in your professional life nowadays?
Well, you actually mentioned all of it. So I use it in different ways. I give training to postgraduate psychologists. Actually, I had a training yesterday, so I'm still a bit tired of this. Very nice and very interesting, but very intense for me. So that's a wonderful part of what I do. I wrote a book last year, and the main focus is on YET, the online platform where we offer SST sessions for employees so they can book one session online with a coach or counselor or psychologist, no referral, no waiting time. So just immediately, confidential help so they can get help early, uh, and go ahead. And I think it's a wonderful, empowering, easy way to help employees.
Yes, sure. Um, Thank you so much. What about the future? What do you think the future of single session therapy will look like for you?
The future of SST, for me, the future of SST is really about mindset shift. So meeting people where they are with the best possible help at that moment. And I see SST as an important part of a flexible spectrum of care alongside self-help, brief support, more intensive treatment. And I really hope that we can collaborate better between all these forms of support. It's not either single session or all the battles going on. I think that's really a waste of time and energy. It's about the client and how to help, or the client, all of us, when we are in trouble.
Mm,
How to make sure that we can provide the best help at that moment, and not only think about what's the problem, but also what does your life look like at this moment, and what's realistic and possible and helpful at this moment.
Thank you so much. Um, that's very, very a beautiful thought, a nice thought. I really appreciate that. And as we are going to close, before close, I would like to come back to this special year for us of the Italian Center and ask you if you would share your best wishes for the Italian Center for Single Session Therapy on this its 10th anniversary.
Yes, this I've practiced a bit, but still I have to. Okay, so I will try this in Italian. I practice with my father. Of course, you can practice with AI tools, but I thought it was much nicer to practice with my father because he's not Italian, but he taught law in Rome for a
Ah,
few years, a long time ago. So it was nice for him to help me. It's only one sentence, a short one. I will try. Tanti auguri per i 10 anni del centro di terapia a Seduta Singola.
that's amazing. That was perfect. Thank you so much. Thank
I'm
you,
not
thank you,
really
thank
sure
you.
what I said, but no, I
You
know.
said happy birthday to the
Yes.
Italian Center. That's amazing. Thank you for the effort. Okay. So, doctor, I'm a bit sad that we are already finished.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, we came to the end of our interview. Thank you very much for your time and for sharing your experience with us. It's been a really pleasure for me to talk with you and to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Italian Center together. Thank you again, and a very good evening.